Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of My Car Shop, episode 36 in the 47 Ford Street Rod, and today we're going to start working on the grille and the front bumperette assembly for the car. Hope you enjoy the show.
Working out of a 100-year-old refurbished barn, bringing 35 years of experience to projects considered beyond repair. Vision, creativity, and problem solving are essential tools in this place. Watch as we transform junk into polished metal miracles. This is My Cars Shop.
Okay, so welcome to today's episode. Today we're going to focus on getting the front grille assembly taken back apart. It's in primer, if you remember from previous episodes, and we're also going to take the stainless and chrome off and put it away, but we're going to take the front bumperette and get that laid out and start assessing and evaluating what needs to happen. Hopefully we'll get a little sanding done on that and get that ready to begin the process of priming, so that we can get it caught up to speed and being in about the same condition that the grille assembly is right now, and then we can move forward on both of those parts to get them ready for finishing, painting, and then assembling onto the car. So there you go. So what we're up to right now then is we've got everything laid out here, and I've got the box for the grill bars, and I'm just going to flip this over, and I don't know if I tighten these down a lot. Doesn't, well, they're tighter than I realized. So we're going to disassemble, like I said, take the grill bars off and get that put away, and then start looking at the condition of everything. It's really filthy here. So let's grab a screwdriver. So if you look at the back of this grill, you can see how the grill bars are attached. They are just flathead screws with little retainers that hold it on there. And then the stainless bars, you can see, are held on with little Phillips screws right there. So we'll be taking all that stuff off. Want to be very careful we don't lose any of this hardware. Not that you can't get it again, but of course, why lose what you already have? So fortunately, I had put together a little plastic container for that to fit into before. Just a little Bondo can lid, basically. So it should be good, but I want to make sure this doesn't hit the floor. So here's one. There we go. Back in the box where she belongs. Feels really good to be working on this project again. It's been so long, so many years. And it's one upside of the pandemic, and I've talked to a lot of other car guys who feel the same way. That they've been able to accomplish so much on their projects because of the shutdown and everything. So there's always a silver lining in every dark cloud, I guess, if you want to call it that. So that's good. Try not to drop anything on the floor. I got my fingers caught in the wire here. There we go. If I remember right, just this chrome grill bar assembly was $350 from Bob Drake when I bought it. So that's quite pricey to say the least. All right, let's get a Phillips. So now we can begin taking these off. I suppose it does seem kind of a waste that I put them on there in some ways. But it was nice having it hang on the wall for several months. Of course, we were working on the 74 Swinger. You've probably seen the episodes on that. I've not set that project aside. I haven't accomplished anything more on it. But Joe has now been gone for a week, a little more than a week now. He headed out to Seattle, or Portland, or somewhere out there. And then, well, I was gone on a week of vacation also. In my annual guys' week of camping, so a bunch of us from high school get together, and we have now for 9 years, and have a good fun week and a good week of relaxing. So things have slowed down a little bit around here right now, but I'm hoping to ramp things back up again before the weather turns too bad. You know, I have to start heating the shop. It gets a lot pricier to work out here when that happens, of course. But anyway, so Joe left, headed out to the West Coast, finished up what he was doing out there, a bunch of hiking and visiting friends, and then he is on his way home, back to Austin, Texas. He's been having a few car challenges with his Subaru WRX, but overall the trip has been going okay, other than little distractions with that. And so it's a little bit harder to get motivated to get out here right now when it's so much fun to work with him. But we got a lot done, so that was good. All right, the grill is apart. So our next step now, and I'll bring you over here closer, is we're going to get this bumperette cleaned up and see exactly what shape it's in, because I have no clue. I know it's in polyester primer. I know it needs some spot putty. Obviously needs some block sanding, so we'll get some of that done today. Okay, getting this thing wiped down now. Oops. She's a filthy pig, that's for sure. Been sitting around the shop forever. No idea what shape it's in anymore, it's been so long. Whew. Man, that thing is filthy. Okay, I've got to look and remember. I think there's a piece of stainless that I plan to put on here. Let's find that. Yep, here it is. Let's see what it looks like. Not perfect, but I think I'm just going to go with what it is. So it lines up good. So that goes like that. You can kind of see that maybe, how it goes. So it sits on there like that, and it will offset that front bumper. So I can see I got some Bondo on here yet. I obviously was still doing some fill work. I was thinking about taking this and washing it and cleaning it up, but I realized I'm just going to be sanding anyway, so we're just going to get after it. Okay, so you can see the face there, what that's looking like. And as I said, there are some blemishes down in here. Not bad. It's worse visually than it actually feels, but there's a couple little teeny dimples and some scratches in there. And there's kind of a, right in here, there's a center. So, and I got a couple little flaws down in here. All the way down here, it's good. Little spot right there, and it starts doing the chunk down here at the end. It starts doing the dunk as I was talking about. So we're getting there. Down here on the bottom, which isn't critical because it is the bottom and it's not visible at all, but I still want it to look a little bit better. Needs a little work there. You'll notice down in here, you can see where I welded the old splash apron that went between the body and the bumper. And a little dark, let's see if I can lighten that up. There we go. Welded that down in there and made this piece by scratch to weld onto this original piece. So one of the problems here, let's get it up here where you can see it, is there's a dent right here. There's a piece that goes up to support the hood mount and so forth that bolts to that, if I remember right. No, it's part of the grill. I'm sorry, the grill bolts right here. So I need to dolly this up a little bit. It must have gotten bent or something right along the way in here, so it's down a little bit. I don't want to fill that. I want to dolly it, so I'll do that. A couple little divots. Of course, these holes here are the holes where the trim goes. So this thing's actually pretty respectable. Better than I thought it was going to be. There's definitely some work to do. A large percentage of the small flaws are going to come out in the next coat of primer. And I don't think I'm going to shoot this with polyester next. I think once I touch up these little spots, I'm going to go ahead and shoot this with the 2K. So we're definitely getting there. It's looking pretty good. Let's do some dolly work. I can see that there's actually supposed to be a little bit of an indentation here, but I think I'm just going to take it out. I've already test fitted it, so I know it fits okay. Make sure I'm using the right face of the hammer here. It's actually coming out quite nicely. Let's go the other way. So you'll notice when I'm dollying this, I'm not just hitting it straight on. I'm moving the hammer because I'm not wanting to stretch this metal as far as making it thinner and then causing it to buckle. So I'm hitting it. I've got this towards the edge of the dolly here, and I'm just kind of hitting it this way to kind of move that metal into where the dent is a little bit. Just created a little high spot there, so we got to take it back just a little bit. I think that's actually pretty respectable right there. Let's flip it up and see what we got. Yeah, it's a lot better. Doesn't look any better because it wasn't sanded down in there. This needs to come down just a little bit here. There we go. Okay, it feels pretty good. Let's sand that a little bit. Oh, got a spot right there. Oh, using the wrong edge. Couldn't figure out why it wasn't turning out. That would do it. So the nice thing about metal is it's, as I mentioned before, it's like clay. You just move it around, get it where you want it to be. So I got to grind this a little bit now, just with some rough sandpaper. This might work. It's hard to tell where it's at because there's some Bondo that I put in there, and that's kind of, oh, there we go. Yeah, that's much better. I just got to get that Bondo out of there. Good. Good. Yep, okay, let's find the grinder here. There it is. Okay, we're a little shy on cord here, but I'm not taking time to look for an extension cord. Okay, let's take a look at that. So you can see by working that metal there now, it's got a little teeny low spot. I'm going to tap that a little bit more, but we've got it much better. It doesn't have nearly the issue that it had before. So yeah, it's got a little high spot right there on the bolts, which is of course not uncommon because of the bolts bolting on there from the grill and things moving around over time. Okay, so a couple more taps and we should be good to go. Getting really close. Let's turn this around this way this time. Actually, no, this way is better. Want to use the hand I have the most control with the hammer. Not doing much metal moving, so to tap this way is no big deal. Okay, good, good. I'm happy with that. Very happy with that. Yep, I think once I give that a little skim coat of Bondo there, we'll be good. So let's get that done. Okay, so getting the Bondo stirred up here. It's about this, probably during the quarantine I mail ordered it. Or not mail ordered it, but got it through like Walmart pickup or something. It's just Bondo Professional brand Bondo. It's a little thick, a little dry, but still good. It'll work. Just going to use a small piece of cardboard here to mix it up on. Don't need a lot for this little spot. Probably about like that. One of the biggest things that I end up doing is using too much hardener, and I'm trying to be better about that. Let it take longer to dry. It leaves it a little bit more flexible in the long run, and it's less likely to crack. So, but I've not had a lot of issues with Bondo cracking. Really none. Front fenders on this 47 cracked a few times, but that was more because they set around for so long in primer, not because of the Bondo. So I've had that issue on other parts before, where I get them prepped to prime or prepped to paint and then never get back to painting them for a year or two and come back and they've got cracks. Fix them, go back, paint them, never have a problem. So it's not the Bondo, it's the sitting around in primer, which makes sense. The old school lacquer primers used to absorb water real bad, and so a car could actually rust out being put in primer. That's not quite so much the case with these new polyesters and urethanes, but it still is an issue, and I believe, and this is my personal opinion, I'm not a professional and I don't play one on TV, but I think that, get you turned down here so you can see what I'm doing a little better. There we go. But I think that, I still think it's a factor and an issue. Boy, this stuff is not spreading real good. There we go, that's better. that if it sits around too long, it will still absorb some moisture and cause problems. It's probably going to need another coat, but you don't want to get too carried away at once. Little thin layers. Let's see what else I have to build up here while I'm here. While I've got this, there's a couple little spots here I might as well do up. There we go. Another one there. Get that one while I'm here. Another one there. Since I got the product mixed, I might as well use it. It's rather humid today, and most people think that humidity would cause things to dry slow, but it's actually the opposite. The moisture in the air causes the solvents to wick out of products faster, so things actually dry faster when it's humid to a certain degree, at least with some of these body products. And as I've said before, and I'll say again, everything I'm saying, I could be full of crap, but I'm just sharing what I know or what I believe I know. Well, it's what I know. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But I'm just sharing what I've learned by both experience and just in working with these products over the years, and what my buddies who work with this stuff much more than I do have told me. So, oh, Mr. Compressor needs to come on. All right, I got a little more I could do here, but the Bondo is starting to dry now, so maybe I'll mix up just a little spot and get this touched up while I'm at it. There's a few spots here I want to hit, and I think there was one, I don't remember where it was. Yeah, right here. Okay, so I want to hit that too. So let's mix up a little bit more for that. Probably did too much this time, but that's all right. Get this stuff off the spreader. Mixing Bondo, isn't it fun? You don't want to stir it. You want to just kind of work it flat, scrape it back off the spreader, bring it this way, bring it that way. Stirring it puts air into it. Air is your enemy with Bondo. You don't want air in it. So be careful when you're doing that. All right, I think that's good. Let's touch up a few more spots here. Have a lot of time today, but I'm hoping we can get this sanded down and rattle can it at least with an etching primer to get these spots kind of blended in and get a feel for what it's looking like here. I think it's looking pretty good. Yeah, we're getting there. Good thing I mixed that much up. I thought I had too much, but I don't think I do. Yeah, sticking good. There we go. Okay, that's a little more than I want. Oh, there's another spot down here. See? Always something. If you're paying attention. Let's come around the other side here if I can. All right, there we go. Got a spot right there. You could do these with spot putty also, but I'm not in the 2K primer, and polyester primer is basically spray Bondo. So I'm not afraid to go back over this with just Bondo over this polyester primer here and use it like a spot putty. And I'm just little pinholes and things that I'm filling in. I'm not expecting it to be perfect. The reality is it's not going to be, but I have so much more product to put on this yet to get it to be perfect that, it's just little bits at a time, and just filling in the little blemishes as you go. So there you go on that. All right, this has got to dry for a few minutes, so we'll let that do that, and then we'll get back to you here in just a minute. Okay, we're getting close now. Stuff on the top is dry enough to sand. By the time I get this sanded, the bottom should be ready. Oops. One thing about the humidity is it does cause the glue on the Bondo or the sandpaper to not stick good sometimes. I'm gonna have to do some of that by hand, I think. See, I got a little bit of spot here where that's a little bent. Gonna have to do some work on that. Probably not today. Looking good though. Looking real good. And again, my goal is not perfection here. Yeah, I better fix that now. If I can. Much better. Whoa! Don't drop it. One more spot right there. Okay. Not looking for perfection, but that's much better. The reason I say I'm not looking for perfection is because it's hidden. So I just want it to look nice, but this is all going to be mostly hidden, so you won't see it. So I don't believe in wasting tons of time making something perfect that isn't visible to the naked eye when you're looking at the car or by looking into things, because this is all behind the grill here. So I think there might be I gotta look, there may be another piece that goes up here, I don't remember. Much better. Stuff has all been fitted on the car in the past, so everything should line back up again real good. I know this can be real boring to watch, and if there's other things you'd like to see, please let me know. But by the same token, I kind of want you to get a good feel for the amount of time and detail it takes to do this kind of work. There we go. Sometimes you just got to put the block down and do it by hand. It's so much for me an intuition thing. Pretty good. Couple spots over here. You know, there are a lot of other shows on YouTube that I like. just recently posted about my favorite ones, Vice Grip Garage, Restored, and Iron Trap Garage. And each one has its own value for sure. The Derek at Vice Grip, he goes out and does all kinds of crazy stuff, bringing cars home, driving them for 500 miles that he's found that motor was seized up, and he get it running and drive it home. That kind of stuff. Plus he's doing some killer builds. Looks like my batteries are dying here. It's okay, I'm about done anyway. He does some killer builds. Guys at Restored, you know the story behind what happened to them in their previous channel, unnamed, and starting all over again. But they do a lot of patina work, and they also go out and do field finds and bring stuff home, get them running, or get them running and bring stuff home, vice versa. You know, when that's Iron Trap, they build real cool nostalgia type hot rods. I love the stuff they do. You know, it's a lot of stuff like what I did when I was in college, building hot rods at the rod shop. Whew. It is hot today. So, you know, every channel has its thing, and, you know, where I'm more of a wrench, a mechanic, and a body guy. You know, I spent years as a professional mechanic, and worked in dealerships and worked in independents, had my own independent for a long time. I've restored 100 cars or more for both myself and for customers. Obviously see the stuff we have around here that I've done. Hang on. Humidity's killing that sandpaper glue. I don't think that's going to recover, but I think we're close. Do the rest of it by hand. I don't have another box of 40 grit. These are the last couple pieces that I have, so trying to make them work. Okay, yeah, we're having all kinds of technical problems today. This other one just filled up. That one, the battery's dying. But that's okay, we got some good stuff. So anyway, Iron Trap does a lot of the kind of stuff that I did when I was in college, building traditional hot rods. We did a lot of muscle cars too when I worked at Street Scene up in Marquette, Michigan. So each show I like for a different reason. I really hope to get to meet all these guys at some point, which means doing some traveling, because Iron Trap is in Pennsylvania, Vice Grip is in Minnesota, and Restored is down in Texas. Probably the guys in Texas are the one I'll get to see first, because that's where my son's living right now. Hey, there we go, we're getting there. Really happy with this. Yeah. Looking good. All right, just a little more here. Hopefully we can get this done before we run out of battery. Actually, I think we are done. Darn close. Yep, I think we can hit it. Feels good. Let's get some primer on there after we wipe it down with some Prep Sol. Okay, so wiping her down with some Prep Sol here. And I'm not intending to prime the whole thing. I don't have that much. This is just rattle can stuff to spot it up a little bit. It's a little bit of a fill prime. And after that dries, it's mainly to hit that bare metal so it etches good, so that we don't end up with anything peeling down the road. Oh, this is this is looking so much better than I expected already. Unbelievable. Little dent there, got to fix. Little thing here and there, but yeah, this is amazing. Very happy. Very happy. Let's give her a blow off. looks like I'm going to have to go to my supplier and get some more rattle can primer and etch and fill stuff. Oh, this is the green stuff. This is ancient. Okay, the tip just plugged. Isn't that beautiful? Must be getting old. That happens after it sits around for a while. Hopefully that cleaned it up. Yep, it did. We may be done for the day. Between batteries dying and phones dying and now spray can's not spraying. One more shot. If this doesn't work, I'll try another lid. Alright, I got one more spray can over here I can steal one off of. Well, that one don't work either. There it goes. That's probably the can itself. Alright. That sucks. What do we got here? I got one more can at the back we can get also. Not doing the best job, but for what it is for, it's going to be fine. More in this can than I thought. The half of this is just to get the acid etch from the primer into the bare metal so it doesn't rust underneath the primer. Okay, that can's done. I got one more, hang on. There's actually a little more in this can than I thought. And we got company, Ma. Oh, it's Jim. Well, we're going to take a break. Okay, so that was awesome. A good buddy of mine, Jim, stopped by. You've heard me talk about him before. He's the guy that he and I have done a lot of cars together over the years. You've seen pictures of some of the cars he owned. Some of the early pictures of the 47 were done in his place. So I just finished up the last of my rattle can of the etch prime and got the bumperette in primer. That's going to need to dry now. And so it's looking good and starting to match up to the grill a little bit. So as soon as that dries, I'll flip it over and do another shot. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of My Car Shop. We got some good work done on the bumper today, and I had the bonus of a good buddy stopping by, as I mentioned, getting to talk to him for a while, so that was good. We haven't seen each other in a long time. Stopped by his place the other day and talked to him and was telling him about the 26 Oakland, which he's known about for close to 30 years probably, so he was interested to see that, so he stopped by to check that out and the progress on the other cars and some of the new cars I've had since I saw him 6 months ago, so that was good. Excuse me, a little paint fumes here. So that's going to do it for this episode on the 47 Ford Street Rod. I really do appreciate you watching the show. If you would, tell other people, share the channel with other people. If you could get people to subscribe, that would be great. If you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell and get the notifications. We'd like to get more people watching the channel. There's more things we can be doing, more notifications I can give through YouTube. We can offer some members only area with some special bonuses that I have in mind once we get the viewership up a little higher. So that would be good for everybody, and I would enjoy doing that as well. So again, we'd appreciate the subscription. Also, we're on Instagram and on Facebook, so if you find us, we're /MyCarShop, Instagram.com/MyCarShop, Facebook.com/MyCarShop. You know how it's spelled at this point, so I won't be condescending and spell it for you. So that's going to do it for this episode. Once again, rock on, stay safe, thanks for watching.